I was reminded this morning of the words of Winston Churchill. The story is told how that he spoke to a group of graduates once at their graduation, and what he said was very simple. He walked to the lectern, put his hands on it, and he looked at them and he said, "Don't quit, don't quit, never, no, never quit." And he turned around and he sat down. What great words of encouragement. Don't give up. You see, the truth of the matter is, if you want to be a righteous man or woman of God, you got to learn how to be resilient. I mean, what I'm saying is when you stumble, and by the way, I guarantee you will stumble. Everyone does. You pick yourself back up. I mean, there are a lot of factors in life beyond your control that will cause you to fail, that will cause you to fall. But when you get back up, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, history is filled with the stories of people who failed again and again, but they did not give up and they ended up succeeding. For example, General George Washington, he lost 2/3 of all the battles he fought against the British in the American Revolution. I mean, he kept retreating because he didn't have enough manpower to take on the British Army. But he didn't give up. He eventually won the war and in fact became the first president of the United States and is considered to be the father of our country. Napoleon, he dominated the continent of Europe as the Emperor of France. But did you know that earlier in his life, he graduated 42nd in a class of 43 people? He wasn't the brightest student. He wasn't the sharpest tack in the drawer. But he is regarded by many as a military genius, and his methods are studied still in many military schools. Albert Einstein was one of the greatest scientists of all time. Did you know he didn't say a single word until he was more than 4 years old? He did so poorly in school that at the age of 16, he failed to pass the entrance exam to the Swiss Polytechnic School. Still, he went on to reinvent science and math in many ways. And then there's Babe Ruth. For those of you that are athletic fans, Babe Ruth was one of the best baseball players to ever live. He hit 714 home runs in his career, a record that stood for more than 40 years. But he also struck out 1,330 times. For years, Ruth held the record for both the most home runs and the most strikeouts. Now understand, I'm not holding up any of those people as examples of godliness or godly living. But what I am saying, they're examples of people who refuse to give up. They refuse to throw in the towel. They picked themselves up, dust themselves off, and they marched forward to accomplish what they needed to accomplish in their lives. And we need to do the same thing for God. I love what the Bible says in Galatians chapter 6 and verse number 9. It says, "So let's not get tired of doing good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up." Churchill, I believe, had it right. Don't quit. Don't quit. Never, no, never quit. Have a great day, my friend.